Welcome to all of our Elevate Primary families. The 2021 school year will be unlike any other year in our history. Our leaders, teachers, and staff have been working hard at developing a comprehensive plan to ensure that our scholars, our teachers, and our entire school community will have an awesome learning experience in all types of learning environments. While we are always poised to change our approach if needed in order to keep our scholars and staff safe and healthy, please know that our entire staff is 100% committed to providing the best educational experience for your child. Your Uplift teachers and staff and school community are all in starting on day one. Be sure to send your questions during this presentation to the panelists and not to everyone so that we can answer your questions in a confidential manner. We're excited to spend this time with you today, and we hope that this information is helpful. To our Spanish-speaking families, we will post this presentation on YouTube with Spanish translations once our presentation is complete today, and you may watch it again at your very own convenience. You may also type questions in the chat in Spanish, and someone will be here to answer the questions that you may have. Be sure again to send the questions to the panelists and not to everyone so that we can answer your questions in a confidential manner.
Bienvenidos a todas nuestras familias el año escolar 2020-21. Será diferente a cualquier otro año en nuestra historia. Nuestros líderes y personal han estado trabajando duro, desarrollando planes integrales para garantizar que nuestros académicos tengan una experiencia de aprendizaje increíble. En todo tipo entonces de aprendizaje, si bien siempre estamos preparados para cambiar nuestro enfoque si es necesario, para mantener a nuestros estudiantes y personal seguro y saludable. Por favor, sepa que todo nuestro personal está 100% comprometido a proporcionar la mejor experiencia educativa para su hijo. Sus maestros y personal de Uplift estarán todos comenzando el primer día de escuela. Para nuestras familias de habla hispana, publicaremos esta presentación en YouTube con traducción al español una vez que nuestra presentación esté completa. Hoy puede verla de nuevo a su conveniencia. También puede escribir preguntas en el chat en español y alguien estará aquí para responder a las preguntas que pueda tener. Por favor, si pueden mandar todas sus respuestas directamente a los panelistas, no para todos, para poder responder sus respuestas confidencialmente.
My name is Tristan Bragg, your primary academic director, and I am overjoyed to be here with you today to welcome all of our primary families back and review some familiar and new information with you all as we are all in day one.
Yo soy la señora Pérez y yo voy a estar asistiendo hoy para cualquier pregunta que tenga y necesitan traducción.
As Uplift enjoys its third decade of educating scholars in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, we are proud to be fulfilling our mission of empowering students to reach their highest potential in college and in the global marketplace. Our goal has been and continues to be for 70% of our graduates to earn a college degree within 6 years of graduation. This is not just a number, but a necessity. In addition to our 70% college degree goal, we have added a goal for 90% of our scholars to earn an economically valuable post-secondary credential, and career pathway. We want our graduates to enjoy that fulfillment that comes from a career, not just a job. Whether that career is earned through a college degree, a trade skill, or other pathway, we know that careers can lead our graduates to lives that have a positive impact on themselves, their families, and their communities. Here at Uplift Elevate Primary, we offer our International Baccalaureate program in grades K through 5. And at Uplift Elevate Primary, we are on our journey of becoming an authorized IB school. We use the PYP curriculum framework. You may ask yourself, so what is the PYP? The PYP is a transdisciplinary program that teaches the whole child. This means we try to combine reading with science, with social studies, with writing and math whenever possible to create meaningful learning that goes beyond just memorizing facts. The PYP curriculum framework includes knowledge and then understanding that knowledge through big key concepts that help us better understand the world around us. It also includes teaching scholars specific skills that help children become successful later in life, like how to organize themselves or how to communicate their ideas and feelings, and or how to research so they can fact check what they see and hear in society. In addition to knowledge, Uplift Education and the IB program wants our children not to just become intellectual, but to embrace the attitudes of a good citizen. But it also includes action. The goal of learning isn't just learning itself. We want kids to step up and take action to make the world a better place and using what they've learned for the benefit of everyone around them. So again, welcome to our Uplift Elevate Primary Town Hall. And you may be asking yourself right now, what will learning look like for my scholar at their campus in August? First of all, your scholar will be on campus with their Uplift Elevate Primary Leadership Team. Myself, Miss Tristan Bragg, who I serve as the Primary Academic Director. We have Miss Emirates Kapiamba, who's our PYP Dean and supports grades 3rd, 4th, and 5th. And we have Miss Casimir Dean, a PYP Dean who supports grades pre-K, kindergarten, and 1st grade. We have 3 primary priorities for the 2021 school year, and I'll give you a second to read the slides for yourself. Our first priority are relationships. We believe in having a strong, affirming culture across all of the layers in our school community. That includes scholars, staff, as well as families and our community members. We seek to build a community where all voices are heard and affirmed, and Uplift Elevate Primary is a place where people want to be. We will have intentional math and literacy instruction so that every scholar by the end of the year will be reading on or above a grade level in order to set them up for success in their primary years and beyond. We also will implement our Eureka Math curriculum with fidelity and build on scholars' understanding of mathematics concepts. So you won't hear things like, oh, you need to memorize your multiplication facts. Instead, you may hear questions like, can you explain to me the system of 10? And lastly, but definitely not least in our current situation, we will prioritize social emotional learning. This year, we have all been impacted by the trauma of COVID-19. So we will focus on implementing trauma-based practices for both scholars and staff and prioritize scholar and staff well-being throughout our day. You will see things like brain breaks, us taking opportunities to reset our mind, body, and spirit, as well as being super intentional around our morning meeting and our closing circles where we check in with ourselves as well as each other. Here's our school calendar for the 2020-2021 school year, and it is also available on our school website as well as our network website. So you might be asking yourself, what will be happening during the first month of school? I'm glad you asked. So during the month of August, all the way until September 4th, all scholars will learn remotely. That is due to the orders put in place by the Tarrant County Judge. Scholars will engage in learning that supports both their academic and social emotional needs, just like we discussed on the few slides ahead. During the week of August 10th through the 14th, scholars will have a few assignments daily where they need to log on to Schoology and submit their assignments to count for daily attendance. During the week of August 17th, scholars will engage in a half day of learning each day, which goes from 8 o'clock a.m. until 12:30 p.m. Do not worry about committing this information to memory, as you will receive a weekly grade level newsletter from your scholar's grade level team leader. The week of August 24th all the way until August 31st, scholars will engage in a full day of learning. In the morning, scholars will engage in live synchronous instruction with their teacher from 8 to 12:30, and from 1 until 3:30 in the afternoon, scholars will learn independently, asynchronously on their Schoology platform. So here's what you can expect for the week of August 10th through the 14th. There's no daily bell schedule. You will have a one-on-one conference for your family with your scholar's teacher, and those emails went out on yesterday for you to begin signing up. You need to log into Schoology via Classlink each day for attendance. While your scholar is logging on, you can expect to learn about how to access your scholar's classes, explore our EdTech resources like ExactPath, RazKids, Reading Eggs, and your scholars will also learn about internet safety. That following week, August 17th through the 21st, classes will begin with teachers at 8 o'clock a.m. Scholars need to be logged in and ready in Schoology at 8 o'clock a.m. Scholars will have between a 5 and 15-minute break between classes depending on their grade levels, and scholars will have lunch on their own from 12 o'clock until 12:30. Your scholars will begin to learn about personal wellness and start doing some of that check-ins with their emotions. They will learn about their teachers as their teachers begin to learn about them. They will learn about our campus culture expectations here at Uplift Elevate Primary and what it means to be a scholar, the virtual tools that we will use while we are in our remote learning environment, and how Uplift Education will prepare him or her for college. That next week, August 24th through the 28th, scholars will still log on beginning at 8 o'clock until 12 o'clock. They will have the same amount of breaks, and they can range anywhere between 5 minutes and 15 minutes. And lunch, recess, and independent work time need to happen between 12 and 3 p.m. Again, your scholar will continue to have conversations about their personal wellness. They will talk about how current events that happened during the school closure and how they are related to the content they will learn this year. And scholars will also take short diagnostic tests so that we can understand their learning readiness around the content we will teach this year, specifically in math, science, and reading. During the week of August 31st through September 4th, your scholars will keep the same schedule, and they will work with their teachers from 8 a.m. until 12 p.m. accessing Schoology through Classlink. They will still have breaks ranging between 5 and 15 minutes depending on their grade level, and they will still have lunch, recess, and independent work time on their own from the hours of 12 to 3 o'clock. Your scholars will continue to learn about personal wellness. They will talk about their short diagnostics from the week before, meaning they will have discussions around their reading levels, what they can do in math, and some of the topics that we will tackle in science. And then they will begin to experience some of the lessons that we have for Unit 1 in our PYP and set some goals for themselves as we begin to tackle the entire school year. September 7th through the 11th, we will have full day classes from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. And just like we do in our regular setting, we will have half-day classes on Wednesdays from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. on Wednesdays. During this week, instruction will look very closely to the week prior to as scholars continue to dig into their Unit 1 content. Again, all of this information has been provided to you in an email from our CEO, Ms. Yasmin Bhatia, and you will also receive weekly grade level newsletters to outline your scholars week every single week. If you have any questions about this schedule or the last couple of slides we have covered, please feel free to put a question in the chat to the panelists and or compose an email to myself at tbragg@uplifteducation.org or write your questions down and bring them with you to your one-on-one conference with your scholars teachers. Classlink. By now, all of our parents and families should have received an email from our central management office outlining how to log on to Classlink, which is a single sign-on platform that will allow you to access all of the tools that you will need as a parent and all of the tools that your scholar will need as a scholar here at Uplift Elevate Primary. Once you log on to the platform, you will have access to Schoology, which is our learning management system where scholars will meet their teachers daily beginning August 17th, and all of our campus ed tech resources such as Raz Kids, an online reading platform, ExactPath, an online instructional platform that we will use in primary, and Reading Eggs, an online beginning literacy platform to help our kids start to build phonics knowledge. Feel free to download the app on your smartphone and or your tablet, and it should be labeled under the name Classlink. Once you log into Classlink, you are automatically logged into Schoology and any other platform that you need to access as a parent. Schoology. Again, this is where your scholars will meet their teachers daily for live instructions. This is also where your scholars will submit their daily student assignments beginning August 10th. Teachers and staff will give feedback to scholars around their work, which is submitted through Schoology, and this will also be our platform to administer all of our assessments and tests for the entire school year. You will get more information about Schoology during your one-on-one conferences with your scholars teachers next week. Feel free to bring any questions that you have about Schoology to your one-on-one conference and or send us an email or post a question in the chat. Attendance and engagement. Our goal at Elevate Primary is for 100% of our scholars to participate in high-quality remote learning daily. Parents, families, loved ones, we need your help making sure that your scholars log in to Schoology via Classlink every single day. We are currently in conversations across the network as to what support will look like for scholars outside of the hours of 8 and 12 and or 8 and 3. please stay in contact with your scholar's teacher if you need any support or if you have any additional questions. At Uplift Elevate Primary, we have had a lot of success with Class Dojo, and if that is the way that your teacher will talk to you this year, your scholar's teacher will provide more information around what Class Dojo looks like in the classroom. We also will have grade level celebrations every single Friday in grades kindergarten through 5th grade to celebrate the accomplishments that we make as a team as we all tackle virtual learning. We also have an opportunity to create Schoology communities and boards, kind of like what we do as a school community on Facebook. More information will come about any Schoology communities that we create. Guidance for tech support. During the week of August 3rd, parents will receive an email from Uplift that contains a list of the EdTech tools that are available for your scholar. They will also be available once you log in to Classlink. This is a great place to look for assistance on accessing educational technology tools. Some of those include on our campus RazKids, ExactPath, and Reading Eggs. If you have any additional questions about any of the software programs, the best place to start is through your scholar's teacher. If you need assistance with the Chromebook or need to report damage to the device, please submit an email to edtech@uplifteducation.org. If you have a Chromebook from the network, it would be a great idea for you to take a picture of this slide so that you always have the email address that you need to get help around EdTech support. You may also feel free to reach out to your scholar's teacher to receive any type of support that you need around our campus tech tools. Uniform expectations. We've decided as a network that during virtual school, scholars are not required to wear uniforms, but they must be dressed appropriately for school. Pajamas are not allowed. Our in-person dress code includes a gray polo with the Uplift Elevate crest, and polo shirts can be short sleeve or long sleeve. Shoes must have white or tan soles, and black soles are not allowed. No high heels, boots, flip-flops, or Crocs. Our uniform expectations are also posted on our school website. Due to COVID-19, your scholars are not required this year to have the Uplift Elevate crest on their shirts, and this has been a provision made due to our COVID-19 circumstances. Support for our English language learners. So our English language learner scholars will continue to receive small group instruction from our ESL team. Our school will determine the most appropriate time for your virtual lessons, and you will receive that information from your scholar's teacher. Our main curriculum, the Level Literacy Intervention, or LLI, is well suited for virtual delivery. We are also launching a new phonics-based curriculum in January called SIPS. SIPS stands for Systemic Instruction and Phonological Awareness, Phonics, and Sight Words. If you have any questions about English language learners or our ESL program, you can contact our campus ESL coordinator, Ms. Kinsley Munoz at kmunoz@uplifteducation.org. Her phone number is 817-357-8478. Intervention for small groups for students who are not labeled as English language learners. Based on your scholar's academic and attendance data, we may determine that they need intervention. Intervention will begin immediately and will be provided by school staff after scholar data is collected. Scholars are required to attend intervention sessions if they are assigned to do so. Special education. The Individuals with Disability Education Act of 2004, or IDEA 2004, established laws to ensure scholars with disabilities have access to a free, appropriate public education with the assistance of services that meet their individual needs. This applies in all settings and all learning platforms, including in-person, virtual, or hybrid models of learning. The provision of special education and related services may occur face-to-face or using a variety of remote methods, including video conferences, telephone calls, homework packets, internet-based lessons, or other distance-based learning approaches. Special education, instructional, and related services will be provided in accordance with the ARD or IEP, regardless of what settings the parents have chosen. Scholars with disabilities will follow the same guidelines and protocols with special consideration given to meet their individual needs. This includes any accommodation to the uniform policy listed in the scholar's IEP. ARD meetings. Requirements related to the legal timelines for initial and annual ARD meetings still apply. ARD meetings will continue to meet virtually until further notice. However, all required members must be in attendance. Related services. Speech and related services, such as occupational therapy, etc., will be provided in all learning settings. If you have any questions about special education services and what that looks like here at Uplift Elevate, please reach out to our campus special education coordinator, Ms. Olivia Perry. Her email is operry@uplifteducation.org, and her phone number is 817-381-9503. Our Section 504 learners and our remote learning plan to support those learners. All Section 504 accommodations listed in the current Section 504 service plans will be implemented to the greatest extent possible while utilizing remote learning modalities. All Section 504 services listed in the current Section 504 service plans will be implemented to the greatest extent possible while utilizing the remote learning modalities when it comes to certain services such as counseling or nursing. If you have any questions around instructional, testing, or behavioral accommodations for a scholar who is serviced through our Section 504 remote learning plan, please reach out to our 504 campus coordinator, Ms. Emerence Capiamba, at ecapiamba@uplifteducation.org. Our Dyslexia remote learning plan. All of our scholars who are serviced through our Dyslexia remote learning plan will continue to receive their MTA instructional lessons. These lessons will take place for 45 minutes per day via Schoology, and the lessons will be pre-recorded and scholars can access them at their own convenience. Our primary MTA teacher is Ms. Erin Jones, and if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to Ms. Jones at erjones@uplifteducation.org. She is supported by our primary dean, Ms. Casimir Dean, and you can email her at kdean@uplifteducation.org. Our scholars who receive support through our Dyslexia remote learning plan will also have access to our additional EdTech resources such as Study Island, Mondo, our typing club, our map assessments, and also our campus-based programs such as RAS Kids, Reading Eggs, and Exact Path. Measures of academic progress, or MAP assessments. As stated earlier, all of our scholars will engage with MAP assessments. The MAP assessment is a national norm test that allows Uplift to compare our scholars nationally and measure growth year over year. Think of it as almost an equivalent to the SAT test, because the same scholars that your child is compared to now will be the same cohort of scholars that they will be compared to when it is time for them to take the SAT or the ACT test to compete for college admission as well as college scholarships. The great thing is we start to look at those things now while they are in elementary school so that we can better understand their reading levels, what type of instruction they need while they are in primary school, and we are able to meet them right at their level. So if we have a second grader that reads on a fourth grade level, great, we find that out early and we're able to meet that scholar where they are, regardless of what grade level that they are in. We don't stay in those boxes and we're able to provide intervention and/or enrichment to better meet your scholar needs. We at Uplift Elevate Primary also use a program called Exact Path. That program is directly aligned to the MAP assessment, and once your scholar logs into the Exact Path program, they receive differentiated instruction based in their level, regardless if they perform on different grade levels and different content areas. For example, your scholar could be reading on a fourth grade level, but be on a first grade level in mathematics. No worries, that's not a problem. It gives us the data that we need to provide the instruction that your scholar may need to excel in both reading and math. More information will come in your weekly grade level newsletters about our MAP assessment dates for the 2021 school year. If you would like to check out additional resources, please feel free to visit the NWEA website as well as the Khan Academy website. Upcoming engagement opportunities. So during the week of August 10th, you will participate in a one-on-one conference with your scholar's teacher. That conference can take place via Zoom or in person. You received a link earlier this week to sign up for your scholar's conference. If you did not receive a link or you have not signed up for a conference with your scholar's teacher, please reach out to myself at tbragg@uplifteducation.org. During the week of August 18th, you will receive a video from the network which will answer the question, how is my scholar adjusting to learning remotely and what can I do to support them? During the week of August 24th, we will host another campus and network town hall, and we will dig into the question, how will Uplift Education keep my scholars safe, and what can we do now to prepare for in-person learning? You will get to talk to some of our safety experts across the network and ask any questions that you have about our learning options here at Uplift Education. During the week of September 3rd, you will get an opportunity to watch a video that answers the question, how do I support my scholar with learning each day? Our grading policy for the 2021 school year. We sent out a number of surveys during quarter 4 to collect information from our scholars, our parents, and our families so that we can make the best decision around virtual learning moving forward. What we heard from you was that scholars needed more assessments. You all wanted more clarity around what scholars had learned and what we still needed to focus on moving forward in our learning activities. We also needed to provide scholars grades for mastering content and achievement. You also gave us the feedback that we needed to keep the same grading scale and not leverage a pass or fail grading policy. You shared with us that it was hard to keep your scholar motivated to engage in learning if their assignments did not receive grades that they were used to receiving prior to school closure. And lastly, you shared that you wanted your scholar to receive more feedback from your teacher and to learn about their progress more often. Therefore, based on your feedback, our grading policy for the 2021 school year includes that we will begin grading at the start of the school year. We will also outline in our grading policy our achievement-based grading system, the homework guidelines for teachers and parents, our communication expectations for parents and guardians, how we will respond to academic dishonesty as a campus, and also our reassessment policy for grades kindergarten through 5th. More information will come to you in your grade level specific newsletters. With that, families, we have reached the end of our presentation this evening. I thank you all for your time and your energy this evening. And if you have any questions, please feel free to type them in the chat and send them to our panelists so that we can answer the questions for you in a confidential manner. If you are reviewing your information as a parent and you have additional questions, please feel free to reach out to your scholar's teacher, or you can send an email to tbragg@uplifteducation.org. Again, thank you for your time, and I look forward to all that we will accomplish in the year ahead as an entire school community. Have a safe and restful evening.